Sarah, great to see you again, and thanks for coming on EV Marketplace on a Wednesday night. It's been a while, and well, couldn't wait to have you back again because we really want to do an update on owning and what it was like living with the Kia EV3. But then, well, last week so much news has come out, new car news, new EV news, and we saw the headlines. Well, came out on Friday, late on Friday, and first we got the Tesla news just to tease us. Tesla had a record month.
That had to be a bit of a forewarning, foreshadowing, shall we say, but in a good way.
I was surprised by this. I couldn't believe Tesla had done 8,000 units. It must put it amongst the top ranking cars, top selling cars in Australia, surely.
It must. I mean, most of those were Model Ys, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to know how many of those were Model Y Ls, actually. That would be quite interesting to know.
Yeah.
So I don't think they break it down beyond it being Model Y, which is a shame. I got
a feeling they're really popular as well, and I've seen heaps around already. So I think that's done a lot of the heavy lifting as well. But
that was one on my street. People have upgraded their Model Y on my street to...
Yeah, so that came out. They were released by Electric Vehicle Council first, and then late last week on Friday, the VFAX numbers finally came out, and the Driven broke this, and we were presented with 23.4%. Were you expecting that?
I think I was. I think Sam said 24%. Pretty sure I said 23% on the Driven podcast because I was like, yeah, it's going to be big. And I did know the little birdie had told me that Tesla was going to do well, and that was sort of of course we had all those, the cars coming on the ships with the BYD. So I was like, I reckon I knew it would be over 20%. No, that is fantastic.
I know. I can't believe it. It looks like from the numbers that it was a record month overall for car sales. So that's been really spurred on. I guess the economy bounced back again.
All cars across the board.
Yeah. Looks
really
like overall, yeah. So finally, we got the full details out from VFAX and the FCAI, Federal Chamber of Automotive Industries, who collect all these numbers. They don't collect the Tesla or the Polestar numbers. The Electric Vehicle Council collect those. But yeah, and overall a record month for.
Does this end of financial year?
Yeah, 131,000. There's a usual bump, and I think there'd been some pretty flat months previously across the board in petrol cars because of the Gulf, well, not the Gulf, the whatever war we're up to now. So yeah, that'd be a real bounce back as well. But yeah, 23% of those, and we must be getting close to 30,000 cars.
That is the most positive I've ever heard the FCAI talk about electric cars, and it's the first time I've ever seen them not mention, but the charging network needs to improve in the same sentence as electric cars. And that's pretty extraordinary. What does he say? Is likely to represent a significant turning point for the Australian automotive industry. So it's maybe not a niche thing anymore. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Even they had to admit that it's up 3 times from what it was in just 6 months ago, from 8.4%. So if threefold increase.
So I'm reading here, Toyota was the market leader in June, still only 19,124 sales. That's still well down on their sales then. Yeah. They're still and BYD coming second with 16,800. What?
Yeah.
What was that? 16 or 18? I can't read that.
They're talking.
It's a tiny font. I can't read that properly.
Talk about I mean, they were only speculating 6 months ago whether BYD might win. They would take number one spot. Maybe in 5 years or 10 years, they're only
4 to half. What? Followed by Kia, which I mean,
yeah.
What is going on? The Ford Ranger was the highest. Who is buying that car? What are you doing buying? But look at that, only 6,000 sales. I'm not. As if you would buy something like that now, just sit on the one that you have. Don't just seriously. What are you doing? Oh my God!
It never fails. I know. Look, it never fails to amuse me how popular they are on the used market as well. I don't know, and good prices. But anyway, let's. I've got
the BYD Line 7, isn't it? Is the top selling vehicle. So I wonder, hang on, they've just shown the top selling vehicles. Why is Tesla not listed there?
Yeah,
Surely
because they've just completely overlooked the numbers from the Electric Vehicle Council, right? And they've just reported.
But hang on, does this 23% represent that? Is that with everyone?
Well, I believe so. Yeah. So it's
So they've included Tesla and Polestar sales in the percentage, but not in the buy model.
yeah,
Oh,
and
that's maybe because there's variance within the Tesla model.
selective copyright.
Variance within the Ranger. Oh,
Yeah,
that's just
selective copywriting. According the Ford Ranger was the highest selling model in VFAX in June, right? So
oh well. Let them try. Let them try. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, and the fuel price has gone back up a little bit, hasn't it? Even though that's cost the budget for that 3-month period $2.5 billion, and this continuing of it to be cut will cost another 400 million. Actually, you know what, Roscoe, I did the other day? If you also add to that the $11 billion that they're going to spend storing fuel for a few extra days, what are we at? $14 billion?
Yeah.
Just your listeners, just for fun, put into Chat GPT or something how you could use $14 billion to electrify Australia's transport, especially trucking. It is fascinating. I'm like, oh my God, it would be used in the most amazing way. But anyway, it is what it is. Good times.
I spoke to a guy, and the excise tax has halved. So yeah, petrol prices have gone up a little bit. They're incredibly cheap now. It's ridiculous. And they have been cheap for a month or so, but clearly these were previous orders that were coming through and being actually delivered. So
of course, waiting these deliveries. Yeah, true. Very true.
Someone even put to me that the petrol, they weren't getting the same range as they were getting 6 months ago because they're watering down the petrol.
That's the crap petrol. Yeah, and you're going to have so many people with dirty cars, dirty problems. I mean, the mechanics are going to be stoked. They're going to be getting these vehicles in.
So we're getting the crap petrol now.
We're getting the crap petrol, and we're all breathing that in. Great, good time. So health costs are probably going to go up as well. I love it. It's great. It's such a great move. I would love less short-term plans and more longer-term plans, please. That's what I would like on the table.
Which brings us to the surprising news I saw on Facebook. Fresh calls are growing for the outright ban on the vehicles, which is most surprising from news.
I even commented on that reel on social media and just wrote male fragility, a case study. And I don't think they know how to deal with me because I'm just calling it out. But I will point out that on my post, and every time I have posted about this, my post has had nearly 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
And only 694 comments. So there are always more likes than there are people abusing me. And not all the comments are negative, by the way. So, the reason I don't think they belong on Australian roads in particular is that America has horribly wide roads, which make it even less safe for pedestrians and cyclists. We don't have, as I said, living in the inner west, we don't have roads like that. You know, we live on these narrow roads, and it's like they are too big.
But you also had a bit of an interesting week last week as well with News Corp, right? Tell us what happened there.
Good for them. Good for News Corp. After 2.5 years of doing this, they've finally discovered my account the minute I started talking about a renewable energy project.
Yeah.
So, yes, I went down to Snowy Hydro and visited Snowy 2. I also went to the old Snowy Hydro as well. I'm still yet to drop that video. I can't wait to post that as a bonus.
So there's more to check out. Sarah's
video. More to come.
There's video number 1 and more to come, right? So check out Sarah's channel, Electrify This, on YouTube.
Yes, there's definitely more to come. So Snowy contacted me a couple of days ago to say, look, we've just been approached by someone from the Daily Telegraph asking about you and how much you were paid. And so then I realised I'd gotten an email as well. So she asked how much I was paid, wait for it, whether I flew commercial, which I was like, what does that even mean? Did you think I flew on a private jet? And then also, if I did fly commercial, was it in economy? And so I responded, I'm afraid I don't know any billionaires willing to fly me around in their private jets. So it was definitely, and I don't even think that the prop plane from Wagga even had a business class. I'd have to check. I mean, there were so many factual mistakes in it. It was really funny. And I didn't actually read it. Sam from The Driven read me a couple of things from it. One was that it was buried in the content that it was paid, despite the fact that literally across the main screen it says paid content, and it was clearly a collaboration. And then I put in I think I was too honest in the description. I was like, full disclosure, I was paid daily fee to be there, which was $3,000, which is the overwhelming result of this is people went, "You were not paid enough." I was like, "Great, I'll take that. Thank you, News Corp. Well done." I knew I wasn't charging enough, but I knew also that it would probably wind up in a Senate estimate. So I was like, I don't want to be that person. And instead, it happened so much sooner, and it was done weaponized by News Corp. In fact, they asked me about the fact that I said in one of my videos that it had been weaponized, that project. I don't think they took well to that. And I said, well, thank you with your questions for proving me right. And it's so funny because I was on Sky News and 2GB, and watching them on Sky News try to make a big deal out of me being paid $3,000 was, I mean, I could have been paid 30 grand. I could have been paid 350 grand like Scott Cam was by Scott Morrison. Remember that one? But no, apparently $3,000 for me to make 33 stories, 4 vertical reels, and 3 long form videos for YouTube was apparently a bridge too far. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. So it was very interesting.
Check the article out, but yeah, check out the actual video on Sarah's channel. Which
Influencer payday, 3K payday.
If anything, I don't think we've seen enough on that project. That's the issue. That there's only been bad news, there's only been delays, and there hasn't been enough good news about what it's doing, why it's doing, and how it's going at all. So
that's why they got me in, Rosco. It was like we'd actually like someone to just come and have a look at what we're doing, and the reason that they got someone in like me who is not an engineer, I'm not it's like getting I am a member of the general public coming in and looking at it, and they wanted to get my perspective, and the thing that I took away from it and that I really did try to convey, which is obviously given News Corp the shits because their entire narrative is to be negative about the project, right? Over and over. And the first comment that someone had, which I've pinned on my Facebook, was, wow, this is actually the first positive thing I've heard about that project. Exactly. And they don't like that message is out there, and that I was able to convey how remote it is, how incredibly logistically complex it is.
Yeah, it always was.
And they're working 24/7, 365 days a year, 12-hour shifts. I mean, it is unbelievably huge and complex.
Yeah. So check that out because, it is a fantastic project. And I can't wait till that comes on stream as well. But then I saw your shout out on LinkedIn. That piqued your interest in those sorts of projects. And you put together a list, a veritable bucket list of things that you'd like to go and see as well. So what else is on your list?
I would like to visit a big battery, which looks like that might happen actually, which would be good. I would like to visit a solar farm, but particularly one that's agrivoltaic, so seeing sheep grazing underneath or something else like that, just to show that those two things can exist together, which I think I don't think a day goes by that I don't get an anti-solar dodgy, AI generated, they belong on our rooftops, not on our farmland kind of, that kind of garbage. So that's been going around all over the world. So I think it's important to show people that they can coexist together. And I would like to visit some transmission lines because there's controversy around that. And, I've been personally affected by state significant projects. WestConnex was built near my house. I have unfiltered pollution stacks in my suburb. Yeah. And I was made incredibly sick by that project when it was being built. I had 3 sinus infections and you felt helpless. And I understand how people feel. So I think I'm well positioned to go and sort of experience that. And there's actually really
the big electric trucks at Fortescue.
I want to go see that. I want to go to Fortescue. I want to go stand next to one of those giant mining things and just get someone to walk back with my phone further and further with me standing in front of a giant wheel. That's in my head. I just want to do that.
I know I checked out some of those videos from some of the mining shows over there. Unbelievable. I talked to a bus driver this morning as well, and he said they'd ordered another 50. They had 50. This is Sydney buses, and they ordered another 50. So, they're coming.
Actually, from Sydney, I'd like to go and visit a depot for electric buses.
But we were here to talk about the Kia EV3, and, you've probably spent over a year in one between having one as a press car and owning one now. So.
Yeah, it would be well over that, actually, because January we got a car, and, I had 6 months the GT line, so I've got the Earth variant.
Yeah.
Love it. It's great. And even when because I get out and about and I'm driving press cars and I get back in it, I'm like, yeah. The thing I love about it still to this day is its range and its size.
Yeah.
Cars are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as I said, I live in the inner west and an area designed for the horse and cart. On-street parking is the majority of what happens here. And the bigger and bigger cars get, the less and less on-street parking we're going to have. So I thought I would not contribute to that and get a car that was only 4.3 meters long. And
Just remind everyone which model you bought again.
So I have the Kia EV3 Urse.
Yeah.
It has the little pop of orange, which actually apparently they've deleted now in their upcoming vehicles. So I'm like, my car's even less little.
It's going to be rare. It'll be rare on the second hand market.
Well, it will be rare. And I can't believe they've done that because I think it's the best thing about the car. So I just it brings me great joy all the time just seeing that little bing of orange. It's just great. It's joyful. And
that one was they had the long range. What size battery was in that one? So
what is it? It's like 71 kilowatt hours or something like that. Actually, my car's charging right now.
Okay.
And it's a great app, Kia app. Got the Kia app. It's great. Got the car running the cable out to the street right now out the front with my West Council footpath license. Car's at 55% because I drove to Newcastle and back, and I didn't charge. So we got back, left with 100%, got back with 39%, something like that.
That's good.
Really great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Are you doing much public charging, or are you doing mostly trickle charge or home charging?
Mostly, running the cable out and trying to take advantage of that. If I have to, I will. But I've done a little bit of 22 kilowatt pole charging here and there, just because it's there. And I was leaving the car, and it was like right there, and it's cheap. But not a lot otherwise. I think I used a DC charger once.
And that's you're paying virtually nothing. And plus the joy of it, you're paying virtually nothing for that, right?
Well, right now on Amber, which is who I'm with, I will just tell people that I am. Okay, so this is the wholesale energy price right now. So why would I not charge at home? Hello?
Is it negative or is it
No, I'm paying 10 cents. Oh, you mean the fit?
Yeah, I know.
It's zero.
That's the wholesale rate,
It's zero. So I'm paying 10 cents a kilowatt hour. In the grid right now, it's 75% renewables. And I'm still generating a little bit of solar on top of that, but we've only got a very small solar array. Like we're generating 1.53, like we've got only 4.7. Not all the panels are facing the right way. So, I'm smashing it. Charge like I'm importing 6.69 kilowatts from the grid for
you've got
66 cents an hour.
You've got Amber,
Yes, on the wholesale market.
And you found like over the time and talking about managing it just briefly and actually managing it, is it still the same thing? You're managing as actively as you thought you might?
Yeah, especially over winter, we've really had to manage it. I'm finding the AI is doing sod all actually.
They got an AI tool as well as part of it now.
Yeah. That's always been there, the Smart Shift. And you can choose two variants of that, whether it's the hardcore go crazy or keep the battery optimizer, which keeps it full most of the time. But it's just doing nothing. So we have to so every morning we just make it part of our routine see what the weather's doing, wait till that morning peak is over and then charge the battery. And so we just charge. So we're not really making any money from it right now, I would say, because we're not the feed in tech. We haven't had any spikes to make money, which has been interesting. So I think the overall thing is it's just costing you. You can rather make money. It's more now about just absolutely minimizing your bills. I mean, if you've got a bigger solar array, we're unusual in that if we had a solar array that was bigger, we'd probably be only paying like the daily charge. It's just that we do have to buy.
I think that, I mean, again, the headlines. That the supportive headlines that I've seen are that, the take-up of batteries has been so effective that it has smoothed out those peaks
Bugger!
in the evenings.
Shut ourselves in the foot. But it means that people don't need to necessarily get such big batteries as well. It just means they can buy a battery that services their needs and basically soaks up all their solar, so you can use what you produce.
Too successful. We'll just go back to the EV3 again. And are there any secret features? There's a few things I found on the Tesla. Like it's taken me 6 months. Sometimes it took me over a year to find a couple of the features that I had no idea were there. Is there anything that surprised you or little secret things that you found?
Well, after I did my long-term review of the GT line, I discovered, because people told me in the comments that, you can't lift up the windscreen wipers, but you can actually put it into windscreen wiper mode and it comes up and then you can lift them up. So that was one thing. Some of my favourite things about the car are that you can turn off the bings and bongs, even though you have to do it every time you get in the car, but you can turn off the bings and bongs relatively easily. A long press on the wheel, on the steering wheel on the right-hand side, you long press that, and that turns off the most annoying thing, which is when you go 1K over the speed limit. And you can actually create another shortcut which will take you straight to the screen where you can turn off the driver monitor camera if you want to. I find the driver monitor camera works okay for me, but it was not working at my partner's place at all. It's super annoying. What else did we discover?
What about dog friendly? We're always curious to expand out.
I mean, it's not a big car, so I mean, Bindi has a little basket, a raised basket, because she's a little anxious dog, so she sits up on that. She's happier. I've noticed that the seat sits quite far back to her. There's not a huge amount of space there. I do worry that if we had a crash, there's not a lot of room. But she's straight. She's tied, like she's clipped in. But we went away recently down to Culburra Beach, and filled the boot of the car, no problem. Didn't have to put any seats down or anything. Like everything was. It's such a great shape, that car, because it's so boxy at the back there. And I've gotten other cars in that kind of size and segment, like the Atto 2, for example. I don't feel like that boot was as big in the interior. In fact, the whole interior didn't feel as roomy as my car.
Yeah.
The JQ-J5 was very roomy. I'd put that on the same. They're similar lengths, so I'd put them on the same footing. And you could almost buy two of those for what I paid for my car, which is so wildly overpriced. My car.
They don't need any more promotion. They're doing well enough.
They do not.
38,000 drive away. They're doing well enough as well.
I think it's 37,000 drive. I think it's 36,990. It's just so cheap. Amazing, but no app. I mean, because I'm charging the car outside. I like having the app so I can keep an eye on what's going on.
It lives outside. It doesn't live in a garage. So
no, we got it ceramic.
Keep clean. Is it easy to keep clean? Yeah.
Particularly since I've never been someone who's really into ceramic coating, but we got it done on that car, and it is amazing. Like you can just hose it off, and so I would highly recommend doing that if you have a car that lives outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's ideal for what sort of families, what sort of people do you think? Just for anyone who's looking at an EV3. We
all drove around in cars 15 years ago that were that size, and these are near in size and that. So I actually think it would do a family fine, but everyone's got, because of the heavy marketing of mid to large SUVs, I feel like people are so, I mean, prams are bigger now, to be fair. I get that. But you can still buy a car that size and have it as your family vehicle. Certainly a couple with a dog or one child would be fine. But I mean, I honestly think it would suit a family.
Yeah.
It is so it is surprisingly roomy inside. I'd love to see people driving more cars that size. And actually, the sales of the JQ-J5, just to bring it back to that, has been extremely popular. And I think I know plenty of families that are buying that as their vehicle. It's actually quite liberating driving something so small, parking it in shopping centres and not stressing about driving around trying to find a parking spot big enough for your car that's nearly 5 meters long. It's like,
Yeah. You sit up quite high in the EV3, aren't you? You got quite an upright driving position,
Yeah, it's a crossover, so it's not a full blown SUV. Yeah, it's a crossover.
Not like your favourite Model 3. Yeah, not like.
I got onto that again I got into one someone was in, and I hit my head again as I got in. I was like, don't care that I hit my head. Don't care. I'll never care.
But you're an unabashed fan of small EVs, and
I am.
What have you driven? Have you driven something like the Ion UT?
Ion UT, yes, I drove that. Went to the launch, so I did quite a bit of driving of that. Highway, city, and country roads. I mean, it's actually a very comfortable car, and I drove the MG4 Urban as well about a week later. The ride quality is great, a little bit soft, like on those crappy country roads with a crappy edge, it's a bit bouncy. But around the city, fantastic, incredibly comfortable on the freeway. In fact, you feel like you're in a bigger car. It's really, really good. Quiet cabin, really lovely. Bings and bongs at you a lot. I really hope they bring out a software update just to calm that down a little bit. And the seatbelt alert kept going off, actually, which is odd. But I know a couple of people have bought that car and they're really happy with it. They love it. And you could actually buy two of those cars for my car, which is really saying something, isn't it? About how overpriced my car is. It was the only downside to my car was the price. But in terms of what you get for your money, it's pretty amazing.
And there's some other great ones out there, like the Insta. I mean, it's just too expensive. I know Sam's got one, but I don't want to upset him too much. But not enough car for the money. And
but he got his for like 29 grand, so I think he was pretty happy with that. It was like a demo model. So and then they went up again. And he was like, yeah, great. Tops.
Yeah, that's top dollar. I think it's a 25 grand car all day long, all day long. But
Especially the base model, which is, wired Apple CarPlay and stuff
yeah,
like that. But I reckon that's a car to watch. I reckon that's going to become a bit of a cult car.
I hope so. What else have you driven? I think there was another one that you really liked recently as well, which I heard about.
The Trail Seeker. Yeah, I like the Trail Seeker. That was really good. And actually, to be honest, like I've been really surprised by the viewership on my socials. Like I think my walk around's like nearly 100,000 views, which is really high. And on YouTube, it's nearly 20,000 views.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
There's been a lot I think there's a lot of Subaru Outback owners out there who would like to get an electric car, and that would be the car. It's called the e-Outback overseas. I drove the Solterra down to Canberra, which I'm really glad I did actually, because I had dropped off a different car and then got into that, and I was like, yeah, this is
that's the new one. That's been updated as well, hasn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. It was good. Like I drove that and went, wow, this is actually so comfortable on the open road, and just a good solid car. So yeah, I drove the Trail Seeker. I even went soft roading in it, and I've never gone soft roading, so it was very fun. Went down a gravel, 45-degree angle down a gravel road.
Yeah.
Put X mode on, and it was like Spider-Man, just like going down.
It's less scary than it looks. You see it on TV and they're going up and down, but when you're in a car going down 40, it's a different story altogether.
It was awesome. I was like, this is great. Where we went in that car down a fire trail kind of road, and it was a bit bumpy here and there. I just thought, I think the thing that I really took away from it was I don't know any other electric car that can do that. Yeah. I was just like... because you got to remember all-wheel drive, so immediately it's a much smaller pool of cars. And what have you got? The Zeekr 7X.
You wouldn't. I mean, Stan's made it across the Kimberleys and WA, but you wouldn't take it out on off-road on purpose or on
I wouldn't drive. I wouldn't have driven any of the, what is it, BYD C-Line 7. No. There's just none of those. It's got better ground clearance than all those cars. I just wouldn't have felt safe doing that. I just would have gone, I'm just going to get damaged. Whereas I was sort of bashing around in that and going through streams, and I felt really confident doing that, other than the lack of the spare tyre, which I think will be a problem. There's space there for a tyre in the... but I don't even know if a space saver will fit there. I think that they are looking at it because they recognise that the kind of people that will buy that, especially if they're Outback owners, will want a spare. But it was it's incredibly capable, beautiful. I mean, I've never driven a Subaru other than the Solterra, and I understand now that it's a thing. And the engineering and the ride quality of that car is all Subaru. So the Toyota version of that is tuned differently. It's tuned by Toyota, and it's just... Some people won't like it doesn't have connected services, but other people will be like, it's the perfect cooker vehicle because it's not connected, doesn't have over-the-air updates, and your data's not going anywhere. So I'm like, well, maybe some people will like that. I just think it's a really capable, comfortable car for all of, long-distance driving, highway driving, as I said, like off-road, soft off-roading, camping, and city driving, comfortable all around.
Did it have Vita barbecue or not?
Unfortunately, so there's two variants. There's the base model all-wheel drive and then the touring all-wheel drive, which is $6,000 more. You only get vehicle to load in the top spec, and it's only 1.5 kilowatt output, Rosco, which is really frustrating. It's really frustrating because it's like, man, you can't even plug an induction stove or a kettle. It's like, that's a real fail. So I'd personally, I'd buy the base model and I would just get a battery, a portable battery, and take that as your camping.
I'm really supportive of Subaru. I'd love to see them do well. They've owned that soft road space for 20, 30 years now at least, and they're the natural ones to carry on and take that off-road electric space as well. And so, I'm like you. I think there's a lot of Subaru drivers. They've got a lot of support looking for a car like this, and I hope it does well as well because they own that space.
They do, and name another Japanese automaker in Australia right now that's got 3 electric cars on the road, because you've got the Solterra, you've got the Trail Seeker, and now the Uncharted. Yeah. So they're really leading the space, which is really exciting. I mean, it's a shame. Toyota should be leading that space, but they're not.
Oh, no.
Subaru are doing it, which is great.
The American EV sales and Toyota have got about 4 or 5 EVs out, and they're outselling Ford now. So they're quietly making inroads over there. But anyway.
Well, why aren't they doing that here? They should be.
And what a question to finish on, Sarah. What a question to finish on.
Hopefully we'll see movement on that front soon. Anyway.
They're under threat from BYD. Maybe they'll get a wake-up call. But, hey, thanks for joining us again. That EV3 looks great, and I'd love it. I've seen it as well. We've had a couple of clients looking at buying one, selling other cars and buying that.
Yeah, quite a few people have been messaging me as well saying they bought it, and they're all thrilled with it. I really love it. I think it's a great car. I actually love what Kia are doing as well. I just drove the EV5 as well, actually. The van, which is really impressive, and all the vehicles that are going to be coming out on that platform, which is going to be really fantastic. But Kia, in terms of legacy automakers, they're doing great stuff in that space, which is good to see as well. They're not
well, we've got Kia's here. Roland and I did some bit of work on some family wagons, and he's a former Carnival owner, so I think they've got a Carnival hybrid, but we just want to see something a bit more price sensitive in that Kia.
Well, the Kia EV5 is coming. So what it will be priced at, but the passenger, I saw it at the launch, and it'll be here soon. So
okay, that's great. Hey, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. You can catch Sarah on her YouTube channel, Electrify This, including that Subaru Trail Seeker video and the one about the Snowy, and more to come. So thanks, and we'll catch you next time, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Rosco. Good to be here.